Scotty boy, you're going to come back in and do that again. That's just very, very difficult for a competitive cat to take.
Speaking of bad news, is Chad McCumbee right now saying, okay, that was, oh, we got a problem. John Wood is involved in this one as they slide up the racetrack. Also involved the 4 of Stacy Compton. So 2 trucks involved in this most recent caution.
Oh. Stacy was just on the inside of the 07 of Ryan Lawler. It looks like he was going to save it and then just ran out of racetrack. John committed to the bottom, was trying to get by, thought Stacy would move back up the racetrack, and then they made contact down on the bottom of the racetrack.
I don't think sometimes people appreciate how hard these things are to get stopped. You go down in a corner running 180 mile an hour, you're turning left, you see a truck wrecking, you got to make your bet which way he's going to go. John bet low, and John went low. He bets the 4 truck will go high, and it didn't work out.
But Stacy just got a little bit loose down on the inside. We see it so often.
See how far John's back, thinking, I got it, I got it, I got it, and here comes the 4 truck.
Looked like he was going to be completely clear, and then Stacy's truck just turned left hard. There's the tail end of it right there where they already make contact, and they slide up into the outside safer barrier. Landon Castle does a good job going by on the inside on the apron.
Adam Alexander.
Well, and guys,
caution of the day comes out. Take a look at this. Again, that Shane Sieg in that 51.
Looked like he got loose there, had to chase the truck up the hill, made some contact with the 10 of Brendan Gaughan. Brendan jumped on the gas to keep that truck from spinning around or getting in the outside wall. No damage for Brendan Gaughan.
Wow, I love that. Did you hear the motor on Brendan's truck? Look at that. Wide open, bowling the tires, keeps it heading in the right direction. Great job by Brendan Gaughan. You don't have any idea how hard that is to do.
That's textbook right there. That's how you do it right there.
Riding along with Bobby East.
Look how sideways that truck is right in front of him.
But he just buried the throttle and steered his way out of it.
Terrific
Unbelievable.
job.
I love that. That was so cool.
Turn 2 here. You see Rick Crawford. He's on the outside right now. Colin Brown on the inside. Rick's going to try to go by the 99. They're just very, very. Rick gets a little bit loose, Michael, right there. He was on the inside, got a little bit loose, and made just the slightest bit of contact. Did not even put a mark on Eric Darnell's truck, but unfortunately enough to put Eric in the wall.
And that's what you have to understand. That's how close to out of control you are. You know, you can barely get through there on your own. Somebody just barely, you know, you hear sometime, I just barely hit him. Well, darn, that's enough to crash a truck, and that's what happened to Darnell.
Well, they opted not to make it 3 wide. Brian Scott held back just a bit.
I think got a little bit loose, but then stayed in the throttle and pulled back out around the 30 of Todd Bodine.
No problems again. Mark Mitchell in the 15 gets into the wall. There was contact before that, though. There's going to be some damage on another truck.
Yeah, the second Billy Ballou truck with damage. And what a great run Mark Mitchell was having, too. Had run up in the top 5 early, was in the top 5 because of staying on the racetrack this time, and unfortunately some pretty hard contact.
Out front, let's take another look.
See, that's Mark right there on the outside. Actually, the 11 of David Starr is going in the outside, making it 4 wide for a moment. Terry Cook moves up the racetrack. It looked like Mark just ran into the left rear corner of the 11 of David Starr, and that turned him sideways, and he had to catch it up against the wall.
He was probably hearing an earful from his spotter, inside, outside, and when he got to the corner, he was a little bit maybe unsure of how much room he had on the inside, didn't turn his truck left soon enough, and got into the quarter panel of the other truck.
And a bad situation here for the 18. Take a look. He ends up hitting Mark Mitchell pretty solid with the right front of his truck, so there might be some damage to the right front of that 18 that they're going to have to do some serious work to.
Yeah, the front ends of those trucks are so critical. Here's Brendan Gaughan's onboard camera. You're going to watch it right here. Wow. Just got by before Mark Mitchell slid up into the outside wall.
Road and address this. If not, you're right, Phil. It will ruin his day. Gets a caution. It doesn't look like the damage is that bad on the back. Let's look and see what happened. I don't understand this for sure.
Colin right up underneath him, lifts the rear tires off the ground.
I guess I do understand.
Yeah. Doesn't appear to be that much damage to the front of that Conway Ford.
That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Well, it's turn 3 and 4, and we heard so many drivers saying, well, I can keep it flat-footed through there, and maybe Colin Brown was thinking, I'm going to keep it flat-footed, and Matt Crafton couldn't. Pit road, and they will have to go to work on that Menard Chevrolet.
That's a good decision, though, to get that thing to fit pit road, Phil. Adam, what are they saying?
Well, originally they wanted to stay out, but Matt came on the radio, and a big benefit for them. Now the caution has come out. He's already on pit road getting service, guys.
Yeah, Adam, we took a peek there at the 20. Scott Legacy Jr., he gets turned around and backs it into the wall. Look at all the damage to the back of that truck.
Let's see if we can figure out what happened. Too late. 20 trucks.
Looked like he was by himself, though. Didn't look like there was maybe any contact from any other trucks.
There was a gap.
Riding along with Bobby East. Ford onboard showing us the picture.
Yeah, it looked like right through the center of the corner. Maybe he got loose, had to chase it up the hill, didn't quite catch it. Made some contact with the outside wall here.
That's usually a pretty cool cap. Darn it. Sometimes when you see a guy up the top 5.
Whoa, up the wall, up into the wall almost, and he's hanging on. No, he's not going to be able to hang on. He slides to the inside. Nobody makes contact with Matt Crafton. That was amazing.
Yeah, Matt was really trying his best to hang on to that thing and run it hard, and unfortunately did not have the rear downforce that he had when he started the race before that damage and lost control of that truck, but everyone did a great job avoiding him. See him on the outside. There's Shelby Howard, the 13 truck. Jack Sprague's going to go by. You see him get a little bit loose. Now he gets up on the loose stuff and just loses the back end of that truck.
He was trying his best to run that thing as hard as he could. You know, he wanted to get all he could out of it. And we talked earlier, you have to commit to run wide open through these turns, and that's how you make the best time. He tried it, and he said, I think it'll stick, and it didn't. Got away from him. Luckily, no more damage, and some really good job by the field getting by him. Real close call.
Ford on board of Brendan Gaughan, taking a look back at the field behind him. Brendan Gaughan running 4th, so McCumbee behind him in the red truck, one closest to him. Problems again. We've got the 7 into the wall. Andy Lally backs it into the wall. That brings out our 8th caution of the day.
You would turn all the way around and maybe hit it driver's side. There's a replay. He's on the inside of the 40 of Chad Chaffin. Got a little bit loose, had to chase it, made some contact with Chad. Chad did a great job saving that truck, but unfortunately for Andy Lally, hard contact. Watch the debris. Now the rear bumper bar is going to come down the racetrack, and I'm pretty sure it's Dennis Setzer that's going to come along on the apron of the racetrack and going to make contact. Watch that thing shoot back up the racetrack out into the up to the outside wall.
And then that slides back down and gets almost in front of the entrance to pit road. They'll clean that off. We're still under caution. It's the 8th caution of the day from the Kansas Speedway. When we come back, we'll have more Green Flag Racing.
About this entire race.
Hornaday was able to fight his way around David Starr.
Problems in 4, sliding down off of turn number 4. That's Donnie Leah in the 71. Take another look. This is coming through 3 and 4. You see Donnie Leah moved up, got into David Starr, and put him right into the wall.
A tough break for David Starr. Had a good run running up in the top 5. Donnie Leah did as well. Donnie got sideways. Unfortunately, David Starr was there to keep him from hitting the outside wall. Could put Mike Skinner in the driver's seat here.
He's got some company behind him, guys that have pitted on this last caution. That all goes out the window if the caution flag falls.
Problem sliding through turn 4. That's the 09 of Bobby East. Also involved Dennis Setzer with some hard damage to the right front of that truck. That brings out our 10th caution of the day. A lot of damage to the right side of that number 18, and this is why.
Oh, we lost the right front tire, looks like.
Yeah, it looked like he cut down the front tire and then into the wall. Bobby East did a nice job avoiding him, went through the grass and down pit road. Take another look at it.
This is evasive action at its best. Bobby East said, I believe I'll be taking a left. Didn't hit a thing.
Yeah, and didn't see him till the very last second because he was right behind the 46 of Landon Castle. Watch this now. This is going to be a great view right here.
Holy cow. What's he doing there?
Wow. Talk about instantaneous reflex.
Yeah, people ask me all the time, do you have to have great reflexes to be a race car driver? I said, well, experience will help you a lot of times. Sometimes it's best not to react. But in that case, he had to take a left in a hurry or he was going to drive over top of Dennis Setzer.
I'm easing. I'm really being easy on it, but they're still running right now a second slower than their fastest laps of the race. So,
Todd Bodine gets spun around into the wall. He goes. Todd was running second. He got into the side of a slower lap truck, and all of that damage will bring the caution out. Good news for Ron Hornaday. Extremely bad news for Todd Bodine.
Todd's going to dive down to the inside.
He
got looked like he got loose before he even got into the corner.
It looked like he clipped the left rear of the 09 truck, which sent his truck sideways before they ever got to the corner. Look at Bobby East. He's plumb up out of the groove. He did nothing wrong. Todd just looks like maybe made a bit of a mistake entering turn 3 on the inside of that lap truck.
Yeah, I don't think we can put the blame on Bobby East right here.
I tell you what happened. You heard Bobby East back out of the truck, back out of the gas really early. I think the closing rate, Todd misjudged a little bit that Bobby was going to back off the gas. He felt like Bobby would be on down in the corner and he'd have room to get under him. So I think Bobby letting out of the gas to make sure he stayed high made Todd run into him.
Maybe similar to the situation with Matt Crafton and Colin Brown, where Colin Brown misjudged that, ran in the back of Matt Crafton.
They look for the fluid, but apparently everything's okay. He's back on the track.
Here we go. Ron Hornaday about to get the green flag. He's great at restarts. Does he have enough fuel to make it all the way? Green flag in the air at Kansas. Fans are on their feet, expecting a shootout. 2 laps of racing to go. Jack Sprague all over the back bumper of Ron Hornaday.
Look at Mike Skinner go to the high side. Trying to do something with Johnny Benson, his teammate. It allows Chad McCumbee to move to the inside.
Skinner trying to make the move on Chad McCumbee. Goes to the high side. Does he clear him? He does as they come out of 4. So that's another position. Skinner's been able to get to the top 5. He's up in the top 4 now. White flag. 1 lap of racing to go. Inside a mile and a half. Ron Hornaday. Can he hold on?
And does he have enough fuel to get to the end?
Not trying to give anything to Jack Sprague as far as a little bit of a draft. Sprague looks to the outside. Will he slingshot off of turn number 4? Coming out of 4. Ron Hornaday looks as though he's going to have enough fuel, and he will win at Kansas.
What an outstanding effort by Rick Wren and Ron Hornaday, that entire Kevin Harvick Incorporated team.
Ron Hornaday, Jack Sprague. Kevin Harvick Incorporated teammates 1 and 2.
Brendan Gaughan past Chad McCumbee coming off the 4th turn to grab the 6th spot away from Chad. It also passed Scott
on the last
Speed
lap
off the 2nd turn. So what a great last. Brendan drove his heart out today and deserves that 6th place finish.